Hi, everybody. I'm going to try to explain this phenomenon where one person takes control of another. It's kind of nuts when you actually see it play out. This is not a unique thing we're seeing here with Bill and Jordan. I've seen it before. It's a thing that occurs. It's a phenomenon. I don't think psychologists have a name for it, but I call it the lock and key relationship. One person is normally in control, but they meet a particular person, and this particular person is the key to the lock. I saw this same thing happen with the CEO of an organization and her IT manager. The CEO was a strong-willed woman. She hired a new IT manager, and the IT manager started setting policy for the whole organization. It didn't make any sense. Everybody was shocked. Everybody was talking about it. I saw this happen in a romantic relationship. A very successful and independent person fell under the spell of a new person who came into their life. Everyone who cared about this person being controlled tried to help, but they couldn't. The new person was in control of their life and no one else. I saw this happen with an elderly couple. This elderly couple allowed an attractive young woman to move into their home. They kind of adopted her. It was very strange. The elderly couple's kids didn't like it, and they tried to stop it, but they couldn't do anything about it. Basically, you've got one manipulative person, the one I call the key, who could be some random nobody who hasn't accomplished much. And somehow this person gets to the other person, the one I call the lock. They get them under their control. And what's weird is that the lock is usually successful, maybe even a big shot, like Bill. Someone who normally won't take crap from anybody. It isn't about who's got the bigger bank account or who's got the most status. The key person just has some kind of voodoo magic control over the lock person. It's not like the controller is using some ingenious strategy. The controlling person isn't some kind of grand chess master. It's like they just find a soft spot in the lock's brain that nobody else is aware of. Maybe they say some dumb thing that just happens to hit some deep down nerve. Or maybe the lock is getting some secret emotional fix from this weird connection. To me, it seems like hypnosis. And you can't rescue the person who's under the key person's control. The person who's being controlled doesn't listen to you. You can't just act like the key. You can't copy the key's moves. This beloved person you're trying to save will not be influenced by you. There is a super specific chemistry between the lock and the key. They have it, you don't have it. This whole lock and key thing throws a wrench into how we think about status and power. You see, it isn't always the wealthiest or the most powerful person calling the shots. Sometimes it's about this freaky chemistry. A nobody can end up running the show for somebody who's successful and usually hard to control. Now, this relationship with Bill and Jordon is partly a trade off. Bill has money, Jordon has looks. We see that all the time. But that's just part of this. This doesn't explain why Bill handles or hands over so much control in so many areas. He doesn't have to give up that much control. He could take her on vacations and show her a very nice lifestyle. He doesn't have to give her this much control. Anyway, he doesn't have to give up control to this extent. Makes no sense. And the friends and family are always very frustrated. They care about this person, but they can't do anything about it. It's like the person is hypnotized. It's like the key person is the cult leader and the lock person is the follower. The key is getting something out of it. They're controlling another person to their own benefit. So they get something, and sometimes they get access to power and money. Now, the lock loses out. Their reputation is the first thing to get hurt. After you see somebody supremely controlled by a petty manipulator, you see them differently. Only a manipulative person takes control to this degree. Many people, even if they had the key to someone, they wouldn't use it. It wouldn't be right. They just wouldn't do it. Anyway, there's got to be some weakness in the lock, some weakness that the key knows how to reach. The key ends up making all the important decisions, and the lock, the one you'd expect to be running the show, is just going along for the ride. It's a bizarre, messed up dynamic. And it makes you wonder what goes on in this kind of relationship behind closed doors. I can't imagine the words that are exchanged between a couple like this when they're alone. So this thing that's going on with Bill and Jordon isn't something new. It isn't unique. This is something that happens from time to time. When this happens to someone you care about, you can tell them what you think. But it probably won't have any immediate impact, and there's almost no chance of that. But over time, it might. The great news is that these lock and key relationships tend to dissolve over time. The big question is, how much will the controlled person lose before the relationship ends? That's the big question. That's it. These are some of my thoughts. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. Let me know your comments. I have a question for you. Have you known someone who's been in a lock and key relationship? I really want to know. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.